want it, get it, don't ever give up, you got it. You wanna make it, then chase it, no one can stop you. Stop you, they're gonna hate you, but let them hate you, that's fine. Cause if they stand in your way, then you gotta leave them behind.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Sam Burrington. Welcome back to the South Alabama Dynasty. I know it has been a while, but I do have an explanation, so we're going to get right into that. Basically, I tried to upload this earlier, like when Ian uploaded his video for this week. However, the file corrupted on me, it crapped out, and I've been trying to get it to work ever since, and I finally did. I finally, I finally figured it out, so... getting this video out to you guys finally. You can see we're 5th on our division, the SEC East. I don't know why I put us in the East and Georgia State in the West. Doesn't really make sense geographically, but you know, oh well, who really cares? You know, we'll switch that if it really bothers you. But anyways, we're taking on number 11 Oklahoma State this week. Should be a tough game.
Hi everybody, Reese Davis with you, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. A live look in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and the house T. Boone built. T. Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, our site. Players on the field, getting those hammies, getting those quads loose, and set for a fast-paced showdown today. Thanks for joining us here on the NCAA College Football pregame show. Now let's send it out to Brad and Kirk for all the action. We'll see you at the half.
Look, I know Ian's been complaining about how tough a schedule his Georgia State Panthers have to go against, but look at my schedule. It's not that much easier, as Matt Harris is starting this game out with a 32-yard reception. You'll see his season stats. Not too great. It's, you know, definitely moving into a tougher schedule, into a tougher conference is going to hurt his stats, but Harris is going to get his second catch of the day right there. That's a 12-yard reception for Matt Harris. Now on 1st and 10, Bilal Marshall in the shotgun, running back to his right. He's going to keep this one on the read option and go up the middle and get about 11 yards right there. But a 3rd down and goal. Marshall is back to pass, and just not a great throw into traffic, and it is intercepted and returned to about the 9-yard line. So the first turnover of the day comes with 5:20 remaining. Excuse me, with 5:20 remaining. So here we go. Bowser is back to pass. Yes, Bowser, and he is gonna get Rennie Childs right there, and this dude is a beast. You'll see throughout this game how much of a beast this guy is. But yeah, our schedule isn't much easier than Georgia State's. We play LSU after this, and I believe after that we play like Florida or something like that. You know, our schedule is not much easier, but you'll see right here, Bilal Marshall throws his 2nd interception of the day. Oklahoma State was not able to do anything with the 1st interception. We'll see what they can do with this one as we get to a 2nd down and 7 now. Bowser is going to hand off to Rennie Childs, so he can go up the middle for a big gain, and finally brought down after a gain of 18. Rennie Childs with his 3rd carry of the day, gets him up to 26 yards with 3rd and 11, and Bowser is going to find a wide open Marcel Aitman for the 27-yard touchdown reception, and Oklahoma State converts on the Bilal Marshall interception, makes it 7-0 Cowboys. Here we go, 2nd and 3. Marshall is back to pass, and he's going to find Brian McIntyre out across the 40-yard line as a 20-yard reception for the tight end. Now on 2nd and 12, Marshall back to pass, and he is going to dump it down to Caleb Blanchard, and he's going to get out across the 1st down line. He's to the 40, out across the 30, down inside the 25, pushed out at about the 22-yard line as a 39-yard reception for Caleb Blanchard. Now on 1st and 10, Marshall is going to just dump this one down to Billy Cooper, who does some nice footwork there on the sideline to get 14 yards and set up a 1st down and goal for the Jaguars. And we would end up not getting a touchdown on this drive, but we do kick the field goal, and Logan Gunn's field goal attempt is up and good. So 7-3 your ball game after the 1st quarter. Pretty uneventful 1st quarter, you know, a couple turnovers, but other than that, you know, both teams really struggling on offense and not necessarily defense. But nonetheless, 3rd down and 2 for Rennie Childs, and he's got a lot of blockers, and he's brought down from behind. That's a 10-yard gain for Rennie Childs, as he is having a pretty nice day so far on the ground. And 3rd and 8, they're going to hand it off to him again, and this time he is going to get smacked right there by Buchanan, but not after getting the first down. So 1st and 10 for Bowser. Going to hand off to him once again, and this time he's got his blockers. Tim Neal tries to get there, but he can't, and Rennie Childs is into the end zone with a 22-yard touchdown run, his first touchdown of the day. And Rennie Childs is a beast of a running back. Oh, excuse me. Like I said earlier. But 1st down and 10, Bilal Marshall is going to go deep for Matt Harris. And that is a huge gain for the senior wideout. And he has had a very quiet season to this point, but a big game so far. Now 1st down and 10, Marshall back to pass. And an ill-advised throw, just wasn't open. And throws it anyway, and it is intercepted. The 3rd turnover of the first half, 3rd interception thrown by Bilal Marshall. He's only thrown 5 incomplete passes, but 3 of those were actually complete passes to the other team. So 3rd and 1, and it is going to be Samples right there. Rashad Samples with the 11-yard reception, getting the first down. 14-3 your score, and Oklahoma State ends up stalling on the driving and attempt a very long field goal here on 4th down and 8. This is going to be about a 55-yarder. And it is no good, just a little bit short. So we're getting the ball here, 2nd and 2, and Marshall's going to throw the screen pass to Dejan Funderburk, who breaks a tackle, and he's got some blockers on the right sideline inside the 20, inside the 10, brought down at about the 7-yard line. A 46-yard reception for Dejan Funderburk. Now on 1st and goal, Marshall is back to pass, and he's going to step up in the pocket and get into the end zone and cut this lead down to 4. Bilal Marshall with his first touchdown run on the day makes it 14-10. So here we go, 14-10 your score, 4 minutes remaining in the first half. 1st and 10, Rennie Childs is going to take this one up the right sideline, and he's got a lot of space out across the 50 to the 30. It is a foot race, and he can't be brought down by Ty Young, and he is going to get into the end zone. A 75-yard touchdown run by Rennie Childs, and this South Alabama defense has just been awful all season, and really just got worse since we got into the SEC. As Marshall is going to be back to pass, and he's going to go over the middle for Matt Harris, who's having a big day. But our defense just really isn't SEC ready yet. Our offense definitely is. As you see, Matt Harris, 5 catches for a $131 in the first half. But 1st down and 10, Marshall is going to go ahead and just dump this one over the middle to Kyle Clifford on the slant route. And he's going to get out across the 35-yard line. That's a 19-yard reception for the senior wide receiver, who has been having a very good year so far. But 1st down and 10, Bowser back to pass over the middle is going to find McCoy. And that is Mark McCoy with the 18-yard reception right there. As our last drive ended up stalling. And here we go. Bowser's going to throw it to the wrong team. Ty Young's going to take this one to the house. There's no one within 10 yards of him. And Ty Young picks off the screen pass. The Oklahoma State quarterback, Bowser, really didn't look before he threw that ball, and Ty Young jumped the route and took it to the house. So 21-17 is your score, and you'll see the backup running back now is doing some work. That is Dominic Ramachir or something like that. I'm not sure how you say that, but that's his first carry of the day. He's going to get 16. Now on 2nd and 9, Bowser's going over the middle. He's going to hit Ramachir again, and that is going to be out across the 40 for a 19-yard reception. So he's having a pretty big impact coming into the game. Spelling Rennie Childs. And now Bowser's going to go over the middle for, I believe that's Marcel Aitman with the 10-yard reception. That's going to make it 2nd down and inches. And now later in the drive on 3rd and goal, it is Bowser is going to go over the middle for Marcel Aitman once again and make this a 28-17 ball game with about a minute remaining in the first half. So 57 seconds now. Bilal Marshall in the shotgun, and he's back to pass, and he's going to find Anthony Thompson for the 21-yard reception right there. So 2nd down and 6. Marshall is back to pass, and he's going to go deep on the right side and find Matt Harris once again, who's having a phenomenal day. 15 seconds now, 3rd and 17. Marshall back to pass in the end zone. Back to the end zone. It is Anthony Thompson, 28-yard touchdown. Makes it 28-24 at the half. So despite the 3 turnovers in the first half, it is only a 4-point ball game. South Alabama keeping it close with the 11th ranked team in the nation. Oklahoma State is definitely a very talented ball club, and this is definitely a tough game for us to win. But you'll see the stats right there. We have 346 passing yards in just the first half, which is kind of ridiculous. Only 60 rushing yards, but the 3 turnovers definitely hurt us, and their 229 rushing yards definitely hurt us in that first half. So, you know, tough first half defensively. Offensively, we moved the ball pretty well. Just some stupid mistakes throwing the ball have led to turnovers. And that's mainly the reason that we're down, is they've gotten some points off of our turnovers. But starting off the half, it is who else but Rennie Childs. Another ridiculous run, breaks up 4 tackles on that run and gets in the end zone. A 64-yard touchdown run, and Rennie Childs is shredding the South Alabama defense right now. 35-24 your score. Now a 3rd down and 15 later in the drive for Bilal Marshall and the Jaguars, and he's going to go deep for Anthony Thompson. That pass was right on the money. A 46-yard reception for Anthony Thompson as Bilal Marshall closes in on 400 yards passing this game. And speaking of Bilal Marshall, he's going to go up the middle, and he is going to get down after a pretty good gain right there. 19-yard run by Bilal Marshall, and that is going to be a 1st down. He's up to 54 yards rushing on the day. So 35-24 is still your score. 6.5 minutes remaining. Bilal Marshall trying to lead this Jaguar offense into the end zone, and he is back to pass. Going to find Kyle Clifford on the left side, who's going to get about 15 yards right there as Bilal Marshall goes over 400 yards passing. That is Clifford's 2nd catch of the day. Now on 4th and 3 later in the drive, Marshall is back to pass over the middle on the slant route, and Anthony Thompson with a spinning catch right there is going to get a 7-yard touchdown, and that is going to make it a 35-31 ball game with 5:16 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Now Bowser back to pass. He's going to just dump it over the middle for Rennie Childs, who continues to just shred the South Alabama defense. That is a 17-yard reception, as he is now up to 47 yards receiving. Now on 3rd and 10, Bowser is back to pass, and he's going to go over the middle for Jarwin. That's probably the tight end, and that is going to be a 1st down for Oklahoma State. So 1st down and 10 for them on that drive. Moving to a 2nd and inches. Rennie Childs is going to just do some fancy footwork and get into the end zone. Again, the running back awareness is kind of ridiculous in this game, or with these sliders especially. So 42-31, 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's still only an 11-point ball game. We're definitely in this game. 3rd down and 10. And Bilal Marshall smartly audibles for Kyle Clifford to run a curl route there instead of the corner route, and that is going to be a 13-yard gain, enough for the 1st down, his 3rd catch of the day. Now 3rd and 3 later in the drive, Marshall nowhere really to go. He's going to roll out, and he's got some space in front of him, and he is going to go ahead and get down at about the 12-yard line. A 23-yard run for Bilal Marshall. Now 1st and 10, Marshall going to dump it for Caleb Blanchard, who gets a block and is into the end zone for the 12-yard touchdown reception. Makes it 37-42 pending the extra point. So 42-38 is your score now with 1:56 remaining. And Bowser's going to hand off to Rennie Childs on the draw play, and he's going to get another huge gain right there. 15 yards on the run for Rennie Childs. He's up to 271 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns, just shredding our defense. And it's starting to get ridiculous as Rennie Childs wide open, and no one's going to touch him as he gets to the end zone. Earl made an effort right there at the end, but it's a 46-yard touchdown reception for Rennie Childs. And see, our last 5 drives have been pretty good, but our defense just hasn't been able to get a stop, and it's what we need to get back in this ball game. But a minute left in the 3rd quarter, and Marshall's just going to hand off to Caleb Blanchard. He's going to get a pretty good gain right there. Obviously, we don't run the ball as much now without a star tailback in Jay Jones. And Caleb Blanchard's not a bad running back, but he isn't Jay Jones. So Marshall is back to pass, and he's going to be rolling to his right, and he's just going to go ahead and take off, and he'll be taken down after a 10-yard gain. And that's going to end the 3rd quarter, 49-38. The 11th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys are on top of the 2-1 South Alabama Jaguars, excuse me. So we still got 11 points to make up in this 4th quarter, and you know, we'll see what happens. It's definitely going to be it's going to be tough. But Marshall is back to pass, and nowhere really to go. He's going to break a tackle. Some fabulous footwork by Marshall, and he tries to slide or something, and he dives head first and is hit, and the ball comes loose, and that is Marshall's 4th turnover on the game, and Oklahoma State is sitting pretty with just 7:48 remaining in this ball game. They have a chance to put the Jaguars away for good, but we'll see if they can do just that. South Alabama has been hanging around most of this game. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 right there for Oklahoma State. But 2nd and 3 later in that drive, 7:20 remaining. And who else but Rennie Childs is going to break a few tackles and get a 7-yard run on 2nd and 3. It's going to be a 1st down right there. He's nearing 300 yards rushing on the day. And then you'll see right here the backup running back doing work as he does a hurdle. And then he's going to take this one almost to the house, down to the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Dominic Ranchier with a 52-yard run sets up this touchdown by him. A few plays later, makes it 56-38. We're down 18 at this point, but there's still 6 minutes remaining. There's still a lot of time as Marshall's going deep, and who else but Matt Harris having a huge game for the South Alabama Jaguars, as he is almost, he's got to be close to 200 yards receiving, as Bilal Marshall passes 500 yards passing on the day. But 4th down and 10, Marshall's going to find Brian McIntyre, and who's going to get down inside the 10-yard line. A 26-yard reception for McIntyre, his 5th catch of the day. Now on 1st and goal, still down 18. Marshall back to pass, and he's going to go over the middle for Anthony Thompson, and that is going to be a touchdown. Thompson with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. 4th touchdown pass for Bilal Marshall, as he's up to almost 560 yards passing. And here we go. Bowser later in the Oklahoma State drive is going to find his tight end right there in the end zone. There's only about 2.5 minutes left, or 3 minutes left in this game, and Oklahoma State leads 63-44 with 2:50 remaining, as Marshall's going to find Dejon Funderburk. Very tight window right there, dangerous throw, but nonetheless it's a 17-yard reception for Funderburk, and it's just looking slimmer and slimmer as we go on. And now Marshall is back to pass, and he's going to go deep over the middle for Brian McIntyre, the tight end, who's going to get 23 yards right there, but still 57 seconds remaining. Marshall is going to go in the end zone for Kyle Clifford. That is a touchdown right there, his 1st of the day. Makes it 51-63, or 50-63, but we're going to go ahead and go for 2, and it is batted down. So we have to kick the onside right here, and it's going to bounce off the Oklahoma State player, and we recover it. So 54 seconds, and we're only down 2 possessions. This is a possibility. We could maybe do this. Here we go. Marshall 1st and 10. Back to pass. Nowhere really to go, so he's going to run for this one. 48 seconds, 47. You see the time ticking off the clock as he gets down to the 40-yard line. Now 2nd and 10. 40 seconds to go. Marshall back to pass, and he's going to go into coverage, and it is intercepted. Kyle Clifford stops short, and Stearns is going to end the Jaguars' dreams of completing the comeback. Oklahoma State takes down the South Alabama Jaguars as we fall to 2-2 on the season, 1-1 in SEC play. As you'll see, Rennie Childs ends up rushing for 327 yards. Just completely ridiculous game by him, and Oklahoma State really just dominated us offensively. We hung around there with our, with our offense that can be dominant at times, but it just wasn't enough. 63-50 is your final score. So we take on LSU next week at home, so we'll see what happens in our next SEC game.